Hello, this is Dora from Dora Does here, and in this video I'm going to show you the technique I use to extend rows of crochet outwards when you've got more than 1 or 2 stitches that you want to increase by. So here I've just got some double knit yarn and a 4.5mm hook, just so that I can have relatively relaxed stitches to show you the technique. What I'm going to do is show you how to increase by 5 stitches either side, and we're going to do it on the same row so that that increase is all on the same level. Okay, so here you can see I've just got a little mini swatch with 6 rows of single crochet. I've got 10 stitches across, and I'm going to increase by 5 either side. To start the next row, I haven't actually turned yet. I'm just going to chain 6 stitches, keeping my chains relaxed. So that's my 6 stitches. The reason I do it before I turn is so that when I come to now work into this new row, all of these stitches line up nicely along that top there. Now to start this increase row, I've got my 6 chains. I'm going to start in the second chain from hook, and I'm going to work under those 2 loops of the chain. So I'm going to work a single crochet in that second chain from hook. Oops. And then the next 4 chains. I have a separate video all about how I work into chains, either to start a project or during the project. And when I'm working during the project, I work under those 2 bumps there. That just makes sure it's neater. There's a sneaky way you can do it by working into the back bump and then turning it over. This can be a bit fiddly, I'm not going to lie. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here is that last chain I'm going to work into. That's 5. So I've essentially already increased by 5 stitches at the start of this row. So I'm just going to work back into this stitch here, which is the last stitch at the end of the previous row. I'm going to work my 10 single crochet just across the row. So that's my 10 single crochet, and you'll see there I've got 15 now. This is equivalent to that piece there, and when you look on the top, it's got a neat line of those stitches. Now I want to increase by 5 on this second side, and this is where the clever stuff happens. So I'm going to work 5 foundation single crochets. Chainless foundation stitches are really useful for creating foundation rows when you haven't got chains to work into, and you can attach them to any piece of crochet to elongate the row. The tricky bit is knowing where to start. So I'll link to my separate tutorial about foundation single crochets and foundation chains, but I will show you here. So this here is the last stitch I've just worked. That little gap there, that is where I worked that last stitch. So where I'm going to start the foundation single crochet, I could start it in that hole, but that might leave a little gap. So I'm going to start it in the side of this turning chain. So I used a chain 1 to turn on this pattern, and those 2 loops that I've just got under there, that is the side of that turning chain. Normally when you work a foundation single crochet, you kind of create the base chain that you're working your next stitch into with each stitch. So this is the equivalent of that kind of base chain. So I'm just gonna, I've yarned over, I'm going to pull through a loop, yarn over and pull through 1. That is me creating the base chain for the next stitch. Then yarn over and pull through 2, and that is my first foundation single crochet. So for the next one, I'm going to work into those 2 loops, yarn over, pull through one, sorry, yarn over and pull up my loop, then yarn over, pull through one, that's my little base chain, and then yarn over and pull through two, that's my second foundation single crochet, and then I'm going to work 3 more. So 1, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, 2, and this will be my last one. So there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a 5 foundation single crochet, and you see that we've got that, whoops, and you see that we've got that extension there. I'll just work another row. I'm just going to chain 1 and turn and work single crochet across to the end. So I now have my 20 single crochet worked across that row. So let's just pop a couple of pins in. So there you see how simple it is just to increase with those nice clean corners. It's a really useful little trick, this, if you are freestyling, if you want to adjust, but you don't want kind of any arcs. If you just do traditional increases where you make 2 stitches in one, you tend to get a little curve. So this is a really good way. Anytime I've got to increase by more than maybe 2 or 3 stitches, usually more than 2, I will use this technique. I love it because you can do the increases on the same row and you don't need to join any new yarn. That's really the game changer. Not having to create more ends is always a win. So I hope you find that useful. Any questions, please do drop them in the comments.